Hey, how's it going, you guys? Late to the vlog today. Didn't bring the tracker with me to work, so instead what I'm doing is I'm recording it, well, as you can see from my IMAX built-in camera, so video quality definitely not the best that I've done, but I think I've probably shot worse too, so all in all, at least I'm vlogging, right? Apologies for not vlogging over the last several days. I was at the out of Chicago conference, which it's one of those things where there are really no words almost to describe what it's like. Is humongous photography conference. My brain hasn't returned from Chicago yet. Huge photography conference in Chicago with a ton of fabulous photographers that showed up to do presentations, lead photo walks and workshops, do one-on-one sessions with people, and generally just to be there and in a great social atmosphere where photographers can interact with the instructors at the event. I was there representing Olympus and myself and Mirrorless Minutes with Mike Baining. I did a class on the art of the dramatic landscape where you can see on the screen here one of the images that I processed from the drive home using the technique that I showed in the class that I taught when I was there. I also led a couple of photo walks, and really exciting thing, got to sit on a panel with, I guess, some of my heroes in photography, in the world of photography, Frederick Van Johnson and Derek Story, Matt Klaskowski and Ron Pepper and Mike Baining and myself and Rob Knight, all incredible members of the photographic world, photographers and just huge online social presences, and Frederick Van Johnson, of course, from the TWIP network or This Week in Photo, Rob Knight, Panasonic Lumix luminary, Mike Baining and I, for Olympus, Derek Story, the nimble photographer, who's a big author, has written several books and done lynda.com training sessions, and just huge. It was just a giant thing to sit on that panel. So just want to thank Chris Smith, Ann Belmont, Tim Karras, Brian Essler, and just everybody at the conference who made it all so wonderful to be at and made it all work so smoothly. And of course, Olympus for sending Mike and I there to represent their brand. It was an incredible, incredible weekend. And so that's kind of why I didn't vlog. I mean, I suppose if I'd have been really good, I would have vlogged or at least recorded stuff the entire time I was there. But it was pretty fast paced. It was pretty go. I mean, we did have a single day off, and Mike and I went to the University of Chicago and went to Rockefeller Chapel and Bond Chapel. In Rockefeller Chapel, we actually went up into the Carillon Tower. It's where they have the bells that they ring across campus. 311 steps to the top in 90-degree weather and 311 steps down to get out of it. It was an exercise in exercise. I was going to say an exercise in futility, but it wasn't futile because, for crying out loud, we made it to the top and made it back down. Really cool experience. Incredible view of Chicago. And I guess if you're visiting Chicago ever and you want to just get just outside of town, go visit the University of Chicago campus. Beautiful, beautiful campus. Need to drink a little bit here. What else is there to talk about? The nightlife in Chicago. Mike and I did a lot with live composite. Showed a lot of people live composite who have Olympus cameras and didn't know how to use it or weren't even maybe aware that they had that capability. Also showed that feature to numerous people who were not Olympus users, who were, needless to say, floored by what the technology offers. So all in all, incredible weekend, and I apologize for not gathering up any footage, I guess, of the weekend. I've got a few pieces that will probably make it into maybe tomorrow's vlog post or potentially the day after, some time-lapse footage that I shot. A little bit of video footage, I think, from one of the classes that we did, that Mike and I did together. And that's about it, And to be honest with you, in lieu of doing vlog posts, what I ended up doing were live Facebook broadcasts. And well, I feel guilty about doing that instead of a vlog post, but it's so much easier to be like right in the moment and share exactly what's happening in that moment with viewers. And so what I'm going to do is recommend that you guys swing over to Facebook and find the Mirrorless Minutes Facebook page, if you would, please. And what I'm going to do is when I'm doing something like this, I think I'm going to start just doing these live Facebook broadcasts on the Mirrorless Minutes Facebook page. So find the Mirrorless Minutes Facebook page and like that page, and also look up the MacDonald photo Facebook page as well. And like both of those pages if you would. And then that way, when I do these live broadcasts, at least you might get access to see some of these things, because I did several of them, showcasing different places we were at during photo walks, or when we were out exploring on campus, or from the apartment that we had rented for the weekend, what have you. It's a cool way to just get a real-time look at what we're doing. And if you can't catch it real-time, at least it's still there on Facebook and you can watch it. And you can look me up personally on Facebook, and I will admit I'm a little selective on who all I bring in as friends on Facebook, because Facebook for me originally started off as just family and friends. And as my photographic journey has evolved, I've brought in more and more people. So I apologize if I don't accept a friend request. It's probably because we don't really have any other people in common. But if you're friends with like Mike and some other Olympus Trailblazers or other people in the photographic world, that we might have in common, then go ahead and shoot me a friend request. And there's a good chance that I'll accept it. And then when I do the personal Facebook posts, you'll see those as well. Just be warned, it is a personal Facebook page, even though it is kind of a public-facing Facebook page. So you might come across photographs from the weekend when I'm camping where I wake up in the morning and my hair looks like that or something, You just never know with me what it's going to be, but just keep in mind that my personal Facebook page it's like 50-50. It's 50% personal and it's 50% my photographic life. If you want just the photography stuff, though, swing over to the Mirrorless Minutes Facebook page and my personal photography Facebook page, MacDonald Photo. And there'll be links to both of those in the description for this vlog post. What else can I talk about? Chicago. Okay, so if you've never been and you're traveling and looking for someplace to go to Chicago. It's probably going to be a little more affordable than going to New York City, and you're going to get kind of the same vibe as New York City. Not quite the same scale, and not quite the 24-hour lifestyle that New York would offer, but very close, very interesting and unique neighborhoods. And if you can't make it to Chicago this year on a trip, I'll tell you what, you should save that trip for next summer for Out of Chicago 2017. You should go to that. You really should. I'm telling you what, there is no event on earth probably quite like this for photographers. I guess I'll talk a little bit about what it's like. So it's not like going to a workshop where it's you and 10 or 15 people and the presenter gets up and lectures and then you try some stuff out and then everybody just leaves. It's you go in, the photographer lectures, you do your hands-on stuff if it's a hands-on thing, and then when the class is done, everybody just kind of hangs out and talks, and interacts, and then you go from that class to another one. And then after that class is done, you might go on a photo walk with like Valerie Jardin or Derek Story, or myself, or numerous different photographers that were there. And then you come back, maybe get some lunch and sit in on another class, or maybe take a photo walk at night. And it's like that day after day after day. And in between all of those events, you're just kind of face to face. You can interact with any of the presenters that are there. It's not like not like we all hang out behind closed doors and nobody can hang out and chit chat with us. I spent a lot of time actually in between things talking with people, which was really exciting to be able to do that. So check out of Chicago next summer. And if you're looking for something sooner and you want the Big Apple, out of New York. There is an out of New York conference that's coming up this fall. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not attending that, so I don't have those dates locked into my head, so I don't really remember it. Just do a Google search for out of New York photography. Or I'll tell you what, I'll try and throw the link in at the end of this vlog post so you can check it out. It'll be just like out of Chicago, but man, you'll be in the Big Apple. Next year, there'll be out of Chicago, I think out of New York again, and out of Arcadia, I think on the West Coast in Washington State, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I shouldn't have said that before. I know for a fact Chris Smith at the intro to Out of Chicago showed that, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's what it was. I was kind of in awe of everything that was going on. But anyways, yeah, check out the whole Out of Chicago empire of conferences. You won't be disappointed. So what else can I talk about? Shooting. I had a blast shooting. You know, this was finally a trip that I got to go on where I shot a lot. Not like thousands of photos, but, you know, and some of them were bracketed, so it's one photo is 3, but whatever. I probably did shoot, you know, 11 or 1200 photos, and for me that's big. You know, I've gotten to this point where I don't rapid fire all the time. I'm really slow about shooting, you know, and I'm kind of thinking things through as I'm shooting. But yeah, so I had a lot of fun meeting people. I had a lot of fun sitting in discussion groups and panels and workshops and interacting with other photographers that are also people that I've been looking up to, or people that came to hear me talk or whatever. You know, it was a really cool experience. So that's it for today's vlog post. You know, again, just check out the description below, and I'll have links to everything that I mentioned here. My Facebook page for my photography, the Mirrorless Minutes Facebook page, the Out of New York page on the internet, not Facebook. And then, yeah, I think that's probably about it. You guys take care, man. Again, thanks so much for following everything that I do. It was cool to see people interacting with what I was sharing while I was out doing this stuff. You guys take care, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Oh wait, now I gotta figure out how to stop this screen sharing thing. I think it's like this.